podcast at KCAAradio.com.
Here we are. It is time for Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen, here on the case for truth and justice with the right information to help improve the situation. Truth and justice, don't let it scare you. I know, do we want justice or do we want mercy? Huh? Do you really want to be paid for what you've done, or do you want to be paid for what you would like to have done? Well, it's time for you. It's still time left for you to make a change. Still time left for you to show compassion. Still time left for you to be passionate about something good, something that will help make the world a better place. This is Empire Talks Back, where we indeed are wanting to meet our obligations of being respectful to you, being respectful to the planet that we occupy, and being respectful to our potential. So, with all of that, I'm saying welcome. Glad to see you here today. Our program today will include Miss What It Do with Lou Dowdy, and her special guest today, Young Music. We will also enter the second half of the show with some concern about the politicals and the policies that are allowing so many people to be threatened with eviction, so many people to be affected with homelessness. And there's some things we can do about it. And we have our housing advocate, 25 years in the Inland Empire, advocating for fair housing, advocating for people who are without access to homes, Mr. Don Smith, and he'll be joining us in the second half of the show. But meanwhile, here we are in the face of what can we do to make it better. We have Miss Lou Dowdy here. She's going to brighten us up, tell us about some of our young artists, some of the young folk entertaining and kind of diverting our minds more toward how we can use our creativity to make the world a better place. So, Miss Lou, how it do? What are you doing today? How are you?
What's up? What it do? How are you?
And congratulations for everybody who was able to deal with this hour earlier.
Yes.
Everybody's on time. I was even
on time.
Well, I was here. My body is, and my mind is catching up.
Right.
And so you guys jump on me here and let me be as alert as you guys. You look all bright and curly-tailed. Are you up this morning or just simply out late from last night?
No, I'm up this morning. Yeah. I get up every morning, 4:30. Got to get my workout on, get my mind right, meditate a little bit, and then I start my day every morning.
I'm so ashamed of myself. That sounds
yes,
so
sir.
good.
Yes,
Ooh,
sir. It feels good. It's invigorating. You know what I'm saying? I got to get it first thing in.
So this morning was really like 3 o'clock in the morning for you.
Yes, because you guys know that time change, right?
Did you go to bed earlier or do anything prepare for this, or you just young, invigorated, and this
I don't
ain't
know
no
about
big
the
thing?
young part, but yeah, I'm still invigorated. You know what I'm saying? I'm still bigger. I don't know about the young part. But what's up? How you doing, Mr. Wallace?
God is
on
great.
This
I'm
Sunday.
grateful.
Yes. Any day above ground, like you said, is a great day, right,
yes,
y'all? Shout out to the people. So I'm happy to be here on your platform. You know, Mr. Wallace, who is a mentor of mine, allows me to be able to provide a platform for up-and-coming artists and artists that's already been established here in the Inland Empire and beyond. That's what Lou Production stands for, Launching Unique Entertainment. So, with that being said, I have a special guest this morning, Mr. Wallace, someone who I have seen over the years blossom. He was a boy, dang, you know. He was a young man, but now he's a man, you know. And his music definitely expressed his manhood,
okay,
and how he has grown up. And you guys, he's just a delight, a pleasure. The women love him. He gives such a phenomenal show. His energy is just off the scales. He performs in so many different venues throughout Southern California. You guys, I want to give it a shout out to my friend and introduce to some of you guys who may not know. I like to call him the king of R&B, Mr. Young Music.
All right, all right.
Ooh.
Young
down,
Music,
what's going on?
YUNGMUUSIK, right?
Yep.
Very good, very good.
Yes.
Show that creativity and coming up with your name. I like that part.
All right, I try.
Very good.
The intro, I like that intro.
You like my
always,
intro?
She always do the best intro.
Yeah.
getting
Put
pumped
that
up.
in. Pump the people up this morning. We up. Are you up?
Right.
What's up, Young Music?
Oh man, just chilling, working, and just trying to do what I got to do to go to the next level. you know.
Okay. Well, you look good. I mean, you done came up in the studio and you done made it all bright and shiny with all your chains and everything like that.
Just a little bit, not too
I like
much.
that. Okay, in the grill. Okay, wait a
No, I don't
minute.
got no grill.
No, but I see the teeth got the.
Oh,
you got
the stones?
The stones.
Oh
okay.
yeah, I tried something different.
I ain't
Everybody
seen
got the
you.
grill, but you know.
Yeah, I ain't seen you in a minute. I ain't
I
seen
know.
that. Okay, I like the new edition. Yeah.
Camera candy. All
Yes,
right.
yes.
Trying to.
Because that's important, right? You gotta not only be the part, you gotta look the part, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's one thing I can say about Young Music. He definitely looks the part all the time.
Do we have any of his music? Are we going to be able to play any of his music today?
I didn't have any of his music, but we can definitely. I can send it back later. We can run it another time, and we'll show you all the links where to find. Well, he'll tell you the links.
Right.
Young Music, let the people know about you and what you got coming up.
Basically, I just dropped 2 singles. One is called Sneaky Link, and the other
Okay,
one is
Sneaky Link. Okay.
Sneaky Link.
Can you sneak up on Sneaky Link?
And the other one is called
Eric.
Birthday Girl. The other one is called Birthday Girl. This song is it's just strictly mostly for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? It's real smooth, chill. You know, you play it for your girl, your wife, whoever, auntie.
You play it for both of them at the same time.
You can do that too.
Yeah.
You know, and just let the
Right.
word speak for itself. You know,
Right.
it's your birthday, so we catering to the female.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
so those are the 2 singles. The other one, you know, it's more like bedroom type. You know.
Okay, we like
type thing.
that. That make them have a baby type of music. That's what you known for.
Oh my goodness, all by themselves. Listen, did you find something? Are you going to pull something up there, Eric?
Yeah, it's on everything.
Okay, they
It's
look.
on
They looking
everything.
for the music. They gonna
You can either bring up Sneaky Link or Birthday Girl.
cue it up. What's up? Yeah. So what else you got going on out there? Hello. Good morning, Miss Patricia.
Right now, you know, I'm on a movie miniseries TV show on Tubi, Netflix, Roku TV. So we filming for that.
So you're filming now.
Yeah, I've been since COVID.
Yes.
You know, starting to get more into the acting.
Has
all around
anything-
talented.
Has
Yeah.
anything come out that we could see at this point?
Yeah, we got the first episode out. No, my bad. First season, 5th episode.
First season, 5th episode.
Yeah.
So you've had 4 episodes out already.
Yes.
Excellent. And how can we see that?
Just go to Tubi or you know, anything that you have on any app on you know, your smart TV, Roku
Okay.
TV,
Nice.
you know, stuff like that.
Nice.
Different
nice.
outlets.
So what kind of part are you playing?
I'm
you
actually
a
I'm
good
actually
guy, a
playing
bad
myself.
guy?
Nah, you know, I'm kind of in a mix.
He been a
of-
bad guy lately, no?
I have a little bit.
Okay,
Nah.
music industry.
I play myself in the film. Basically, it's about a female artist that moves to Ohio, lies to her parents and her friends that she has a deal, but she's, you know, trying to reach her goals for her dreams as a musician. She links up with my cousin, and long story short, basically music was stolen, and you know, now she's on the fight for that. I can't really tell too much. Y'all gotta go watch
Yeah,
it.
make
Yeah,
him go.
yeah.
Don't give it all away.
I'm
Don't
not. I'm not.
Make
But
them
yeah,
go.
it's
Go
comedy.
support.
It's a lot of comedy, you know, and a little suspense. It's dope.
Okay. So you did say that he was being a bad boy in the movie, though, Lou. So that means you've seen something. So that's kind of been an episode that's shown already? Or were you talking about the movie? I don't know. Maybe it was more of
yeah, no, that's I was talking about something else.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Is
yeah.
that
We
going to
had a
be
little,
something we could discuss on a podcast later? Or
yeah, we should be able to discuss
I'm open.
that. I'm open to discuss that. It was a little altercation with Young Music and another artist, and that that's a good question to segue to talk about artist respect and artist recognition and your name as being an artist and making sure that your name doesn't get run through the mud or misconstrued in any kind of way. I know I take my company name very serious. I know you take your company name very serious. Empire Talks Back, Wallace Allen, and there was a little discrepancy.
The interesting thing about beef when it's not on a hamburger,
Right.
is that it's not on a hamburger, and what's it all about? Why is it there? Because at least on a hamburger, we're getting ready to attempt to get some nutrition.
Right.
With these other kinds of beefs, especially beefs between artists or beefs between people who are really leaders in their area. I could say, well, LeBron and Steph Curry should have a beef because they're both playing ball against each other. But if I remember correctly, when I was growing up, I may want to play you really hard on the court because you are good, and you are going to show me how good I am. We may be apparently beefing, but we just playing to bring the best out in each other on the court, and we ain't mad, and we ain't trying to fight.
Right.
In this other arena of beefing, where the beef is verbal, are these beefs serious? They are. I don't know. People get hurt.
You know what? We just just put it. What happened? What happened?
Well,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, basically, I was at.
I always want to take my break. Yeah, give me the noise on the break. I got it. Somehow I didn't hear that. We need to take a short break, otherwise I'll be beefing with myself later on.
This is my piece. Share the facts, not the virus. Vaccines don't control us. That's just game to divide us. They help build our immunity for safer communities. Natural remedies and herbs, unproven scientific verbs for fighting COVID-19. Now hear me scream. Vaccines and boosters, effective, science-directed for staying protected. Facts.
Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
There is a lot of information out there about COVID-19 in kids, so it's important to share the facts, not the virus. While COVID-19 vaccines are new, the science behind them is based on decades of research. Clinical studies have confirmed they are safe and effective at protecting kids and the whole family. Share the facts, not the virus. Talk to your child's doctor or visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccine near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Publish your legal notice in West Side Story newspaper. For the best service and the best rates, call 909-384-8131. Publishing legal notices in the city and county of San Bernardino since 1990. West Side Story provides friendly expert service. Call 909-384-8131 to benefit from budget-friendly rates. Whether a fictitious business name, a name change, a divorce summons, or any other legal or public notice, call West Side Story newspaper 909-384-8131. 909-384-8131. That's 909-384-8131.
This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen. Here on the case, we're in Miss Lou's What It Do segment, and I'm with Young Music. He's an R&B artist, a lady stinger that, a lady singing to the ladies, but he's a lady stinger. Good-looking young man.
Right.
He's got a great attitude, and he's putting some music out. We'll get a chance to hear something from his new two-piecer that he's put out. He's just described his adventures in life here, and I ask a question about beefing and the little arguments that people have. I'm hoping that there are little things that you kind of prearrange, that,
Right.
that you make or that these senses going on and you just kind of get into it. But how serious can these? Miss Lou, she just said, "Well, tell us about it."
We want the tea.
I can tell you.
Yeah. So what happened?
Okay, this is. I don't know. This is weird.
What happened?
It's
Anyway,
not.
okay,
it's
look.
not with Mike
Come on,
Tyson
we
or
don't
nobody.
got
No.
Time is of the essence. We
I'm
need
at-
to know what happened.
I'm
Tell
at
Empire Talks
Walmart.
back.
I'm at Walmart with my daughter. This is before Valentine's Day. Trying to get her right, for Valentine's Day. Trying to get her right. This guy comes up. Oh God, can I take a picture with you? This and that.
Okay.
I'm like, that's cool. Let's get it. This is what we do
that
all the
seems
time
harmless
anyway.
enough.
So I'm
Okay.
like, all right, let's get it. All right, man. I'm trying to get into music and this and that. Long story short, we exchanged info, IGs or whatnot. Later that night, I'm scrolling and I see 2 pictures with me, and then his comment under it, under his post was, even random fans come up and take pictures with me.
Oh.
I said,
so-
I was
oh.
like, whoa.
Oh, I like that though. I like that.
I said, wait. So I DM him like, dude, like, what's going on with this post? He blocks me out. So I go in the comments. He's yapping out the mouth. So I said, okay, I'm going to see you, man. I'm going to see you. When I see you, I'm going to embarrass you, man. So
You
long
embarrassed
story
them.
short, my daughter peeped him at the mall where we was at, and he tried to like run away. I was gonna get him, but I was with the kids.
No, you don't need no get 'em.
So I said, "This is what we gonna do. We gonna go on camera, like you did to me, and you gonna apologize, And that was it.
Oh man, shoot.
Right.
That's like if I got a picture with Obama, and I said, Obama found out who he was and stopped by the house. I would consider that funny. I ain't lying, because anybody would look at that and say, "Come on, Wallace, what are you trying to say?" But that is kind of slick, But
Right.
I see
So-
what you're saying.
but that
I hear you. I hear you.
I'm sorry. And so that opens up like a whole question when it comes to credibility and your take and your years in the industry in the game, and how important that is. So with something like that, what would it do to like your credibility? You felt like, why did you feel like you had to correct him? Like, why?
It was just a disrespect to my name and everything that I work for,
Oh man.
And then how he approached me was way completely different from what he posted. That's like me taking a picture with Michael Jackson saying he a fan.
That's right.
I mean,
but think
I
of-
can see if I knew him and he did music and this is okay, I'm a
or
fan
the fact,
or whatever the
or
case
the fact
may
that
be.
he's a fan and understands that you are of such visibility that when he puts you in the picture puts himself in the picture with you, it's a flash for him to say you put him that he was the attraction.
Right.
Here's the deal: you getting paid,
Right.
he ain't.
Right.
And so when he puts your picture out there in any kind of form, anybody looking at it, they're going to go hear your music. They're not going to go hear his music. I guess what I'm saying is it's really hard to adjust our attitude from the one that the world has given us that says we got to defend, when in effect, when you're producing like you produce, your everything that you do is an opportunity to point to the next thing you're going to do. Everybody else doesn't have that opportunity. Everybody else that is trying to be famous or trying to do whatever, your consistency is what's going to keep you rolling and using whatever happened in
And
the
he
past
definitely
to
consistent.
stand on and to grow from. And this guy, he's a fan. He made that clear. Now, he may not be the kind of fan that, like you say, you singing to the women. He may be a fan because he can hum a little bit, sound a little bit like you, and the girl ain't going to get to go home with you. So maybe she's going to go home with him, and he's living off of your fame.
I don't even know what he do.
Right, and
I would just say that since you the big guy, you the big dog, let the little dogs bark.
But
Hey, I let them bark, but at the
I like
same
that.
time,
Like you said, let the little dogs
at
bark.
the same
Let 'em
time, you know,
bark.
I still gotta press the issue because I don't want anybody else doing
to
doing
feel
that
like
to
they
me.
can,
You know what I'm saying?
can do that. And
I'm a singer. Sometimes
What
people
if
take
every-
advantage of
What
that.
if you had 10 million people?
He,
If there's
Arby.
10 million people everywhere you went who wanted to stand next to you and say, music, no me. And that's all they're really trying to do.
I don't care about that.
But this guy,
He
in
went a
other
little
words, I
further.
guess what I'm saying is, when people pull up next to me on the freeway, and they may want to blow their horn and drive, and race me because I'm in an old car and they think, or I'm in a new car, or whatever. I'm going where I'm going.
Right.
And if I decide to deal with him based on where he's going, I'm going to get distracted.
Right.
You're the star. You're going to be a bigger star.
Right.
All I can say again, I'll say it again. Let the little dogs bark because the attention they draw will only make people see the big dog that the little dogs is barking at.
Oh yeah, it's done and over with though.
But it ain't. See, it's not because you're still out there. And the fact that you yielded to the temptation to speak to the little dog, it's going to be a lot of little dogs lapping at your feet trying to get the same recognition because you may think you straightened him out, but all you did was build him up. Because look at the radio time he getting now.
That's true.
Okay, so be who my
We didn't say
recommendation.
who his name was.
No,
so
wait,
he, you know.
Right.
we don't have to say who his name is
They
because
go Google.
Right.
yeah, but the thing is,
But I feel you. No,
Yeah,
I know.
but
no,
then
no,
that's
no.
the-
I totally understand.
Can't let everything get
but
you.
You can't let everything
well, no,
everything get you.
everything that don't
but
get
I'm a
you, you
random
can
it's
use it.
times. It's no, I understand that though, but it's times when you have to stand up and you have to check people. Period. Whether it's in music, whether it's in the business, whether it's in a CEO position, even you check me. I'm here on Empire Talk Back, Wallace Allen. I'm your coach. But I'm just saying, but it's times when you as that person or you as the entity, you have to check an individual. You may not want to, but you sometimes have to.
Let's go with
Right.
this. When I checked you, I ended up checking me because the reason I checked you was because I had a young boy, little dog attitude about something that I was benefiting from.
Right,
The
right,
total,
yeah.
no.
Yeah,
So
but we don't gotta go in our
no, we
checking
do
here.
because
Let's
bec-
take this- we can
because
take this behind the
no,
doors.
no, because I want to make it real with
I'm
you.
playing. No,
Just
Yeah,
as real with
no.
you in
Yeah.
that. No, wow, what she doing is promoting and making it bigger and better. You have to look for that. You have to look at, if you can't find your own weakness, other people will stomp on it forever because you just letting it be there. Your weakness can turn into your strength as soon as you see it, admit it, absorb it, and use it to go forward. And that's all I'm saying. You are going to be the big dog, and you can only be the big dog by being the big dog, not by chasing little dogs. And the little dogs are going to be inspired by you. They're going to want to do what you do. People are going to want to. The biggest compliment you'll have is when people are out there trying to use your tracks with their lyrics. When they're trying to, okay, I mean, because that was probably the first time you realized you could sing. You humming along in some young lady's ear, singing some lyrics that you thought the guy was singing, but you was making up your own.
Right.
And you found out that your lyrics was probably better. And you kept on going with it. And so you got inspired. You were not imitating. You were inspired. And that's the same thing. If you can inspire other people to try to be you, only problem with that is if you stop, they'll be the you that you, whereas if you keep on going, the only you they can be is the you that used to be you.
Right.
Okay, he's spitting that. Okay, he's spitting that again. Snap, 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 snap.
I'm inspired when you guys come
Wallace
in and do
Allen.
what you do because
Empire Talks
it's new to you, but there've been superstars all before you. And you can look at the ones that have been successful on the court, in the studio, on the stage. The biggest thing that you want to be concerned about is how did they manage that little boy, that son, who saw you deal with whatever issues you were dealing with, because that's what he's going to remember. Right. So you're teaching your son at the same time that you're reaching
And
for
he
the
did.
son.
He showed nonviolence.
Yeah, I didn't do nothing.
Yeah, he exercised nonviolence and he handled it
Yeah.
in a
I would say the same thing that I tell my children when they have an issue.
Y'all know I'm with the smoke.
It's write a song. You in the business, and when somebody blow you, You can either use your emotions to get back at them, or go write you a song and make some money off of what they did. Now, which is the two that you prefer? I know. And if you control yourself, that's the one that's going to make you grow. The one that lets you do what you do. Everything that everybody does at you, that's point of inspiration. You the man, they not.
Young music, y'all, here on Empire Talks Back.
Making me talk too much. I
With
swear.
Wallace
I
Allen.
always say, well, you talk too much during the little segment, but you guys inspire me. These young, it's
No, that's what we want. We need that feedback and everything and whatnot. But I know we got another guest coming up, right?
Yeah, I'm going to ask you guys to kind of hang around and let's, because we're talking about another issue. We're going to talk about homelessness. We're going to talk about the fact that we've had a rent relief program during a COVID, a 2-year period of epidemic that we have to, we've got to walk people out of. And so this is something that's confronting us as a society. Do we tell people to shut up, get out of the way, or do we accommodate and try to figure out a way to understand we're all here, we all got to work together. This is Empire Talks Back. Thank you for hanging in here. We're going to be right back with our friend Don Smith, who's going to talk a little bit about homelessness, but more than that, we're going to talk about a policy and some solutions to help people be good contributors to society because they got a place to sleep and eat and live. This is Empire Talks Back. We'll be right back with the answer to the problem.
This is 1050 AM KCAA Loma Linda and 106.5 FM Yucaipa.
There is a lot of information out there about COVID-19 in kids, so it's important to share the facts, not the virus. While COVID-19 vaccines are new, the science behind them is based on decades of research. Clinical studies have confirmed they are safe and effective at protecting kids and the whole family. Share the facts, not the virus. Talk to your child's doctor or visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccine near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Publish your legal notice in West Side Story newspaper. For the best service and the best rates, call 909-384-8131. Publishing legal notices in the city and county of San Bernardino since 1990. West Side Story provides friendly expert service. Call 909-384-8131 to benefit from budget-friendly rates. Whether a fictitious business name, a name change, a divorce summons, or any other legal or public notice, call West Side Story newspaper 909-384-8131. 909-384-8131. That's 909-384-8131.
Anyone can get long COVID, even Isaiah, age 26.
I got COVID in October 2020, and 3 weeks later, I started having long-term problems. I used to be able to dance all day, but now just getting up gives me chest pain. I can't comprehend words at times. It's honestly been an even scary journey.
Getting vaccinated against COVID-19 is the best way to prevent long COVID. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccine or booster near you.
Miss your favorite show? Download the podcast at kcaaradio.com.
This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen here on the case for truth and justice. We have a situation all over the country, actually all over the planet. We're going to focus a little bit on here in California, San Bernardino County, Riverside County, Inland Empire. We've had a rent relief program in the state of California since, Don Smith, our great home and housing advocate. How are you this morning?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Don, I'm not going to try to explain what you're an expert about in this homeless situation. Get us started on where we are, how we got here, and what you and your heart are doing about it.
Well, our housing and homeless challenge, of course, predated COVID. It's certainly gotten a lot worse with COVID, but our issues with the lack of affordability as it relates to housing is something we've been dealing with for a long time, but fortunately, COVID, well, not fortunately, but COVID kind of highlighted how deep the problem is, particularly for folks on the lower income spectrum, as far as just trying to make it with keeping up with their housing costs, just to keep a roof over their head. So, yeah, we got a lot of work to do on that.
So we had the rent relief program, an eviction moratorium, and that program, that project, that wall of security, is about to fall down on the 31st of April of March here, right? And the eviction process will begin again, or are we still having evictions during this thing? But we are looking that there would probably be a lot of evictions coming up as a result of the lack of support with the rent program starting April 1st. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Starting April 1st, we go back to the normal rules as it relates to evictions, et cetera. So landlords will be able to go back and start filing evictions for outstanding rent. But people still have time if they have rent debts that occurred over the last 2 years during COVID. They can still apply up until March 31 to get some kind of relief. And I strongly encourage anybody who's behind on rent at this point to apply. So, one, we got to get landlords paid. I feel bad, particularly for the mom and pop landlords who have been waiting 2 years in some cases to get some kind of revenue off of their rental property. So I feel for them too. But people still have time to apply. But otherwise, people need to start. They can't use this as they can't hide behind COVID anymore. Landlords are going to be able to start evicting them if they haven't paid their rent.
Now, yeah, if they haven't paid their rent and the landlord is, looking for his money like everybody else, what is the procedure for the landlords? They have a certain amount of responsibility, and with this program, who applies for the program? The landlord and the tenant, from what I understand.
Well, the tenant is the one who needs to apply, and even if the landlords can initiate an application, but the tenant still has to be involved, has to apply. The assistance is actually awarded to the tenant, not the landlord. So I encourage the landlords certainly to get in and apply and get their tenants to apply proactively, but tenants have to be engaged.
As an advocate and as a person who understands the bureaucracy like you do, you know that the application process is one thing. The second part is, getting the approval, and then the third part is for landlords to get paid. How has that sequence worked during this time? Are landlords getting their money? Are the tenants taking advantage of the program and filing? How is that working? Is it something that people can depend on or just kind of lean on?
It's a bureaucracy, but it is working, and people need to be patient with the process. But as long as they apply, the state is guaranteeing that anybody who is eligible, that has an application in, will get paid. So even after the application closes on March 31, the state is still going to be spending months processing all of those payments, et cetera, and they are guaranteeing that anybody who has an application in and is eligible is going to get the relief. So it's just imperative that people apply. It is for some people taking long because they've been prioritizing the lowest income folks, 30% and below, but they have guaranteed that anybody up to the 80% that's eligible and applies is going to get their money.
So if I'm a tenant and I have applied for the program and been approved, and my landlord is kind of pushing me for the money, I'm supposed to be able to just show him that statement and that guarantee, and they leave me alone? What if he starts the eviction process in the middle of that?
So
Is that
if they start the process, but you've got that letter saying that you've got an application in and that you're approved, if you end up having to go to court because the landlord couldn't wait, just show that letter, and the judges are going to honor that as long as they have the application in and they've got documentation that the payment's going to come. The courts will honor that, even if the landlord ends up taking it through the process.
Is there a cap on how much the government will pay for your back rent?
No, there isn't. And in fact, the average per household is in the $10,000 to $12,000 range. So they've been doing big payoffs. That's the average. So there's some bigger than that. So there's no limit as long as it's eligible rental expenditures during the COVID period that was covered by the relief.
Okay, so this is a cooperative thing. It can't just be the landlord saying, well, I got no money, and you guys and you can sign up and get paid. But the tenants have to be in the program and signed up as well, and they're double checking and things of that sort.
That's right. And if landlords do their due diligence and try to go through the process, but the tenants are cooperative, then the courts will recognize that too. So certainly landlords doing their due diligence, they'll accept that the landlord's made every attempt, and if the tenants still didn't cooperate, then the courts will go forward with the eviction process.
So how do you feel about the information that's available to tenants and landlords? Are they getting it? Are they using it?
We've got over 25,000 households that have gotten relief in San Bernardino County.
Okay.
So people are taking advantage of it, but there's still a lot more folks out there for sure. There's still a significant percentage of applications that are in that haven't been paid. I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but so a lot of people have been taking advantage of it. But of course, there's still room for more.
Now the government
guarantee.
guarantee.
We're doing a workshop on that, a virtual workshop on Thursday. Next Thursday, March 17th, for anyone who's looking for some information on that.
That's why I was kind of asking about it. I was, if things are going so well, why do we need these workshops? And I know you don't waste your time, so you're putting on this workshop. So there must be a pretty strong need for people to access it. Tell us about the workshop, what it's designed to do.
Well, actually, we're putting on the workshop to kind of get people ready for what happens next. We're trying to catch folks, as many folks as we can who can still apply, but also trying to prepare for all those folks that starting April 1st, they're going to start getting hit with evictions, et cetera, and maybe haven't applied or maybe aren't eligible to get the funds or what have you. Trying to get people ready, trying to identify what other resources they might tap into. We're also going to talk about the realities of all this. I mean, in reality, if folks just can no longer afford the rent where they are, then they got to start looking at what their other options are. I know that's real hard for folks, but the reality is if you can't afford your rent, unfortunately, there's not enough support and resources out there to pick you up from that, and so you got to start looking at alternatives, ideally before getting evicted. Because once you get evicted, then it's going to be a heck of a time trying to get a rental somewhere else. So it's better to voluntarily get out of that situation rather than get a court-ordered eviction on your rent.
And Ms. Lou has a question. She's going to ask that question.
Do you feel that because of this situation, you're going to find more and more families merging together due to the fact of just like for survival because of this situation?
The solutions.
That is a phenomenon and one that actually the folks that I work with are trying to promote. We've been promoting folks moving into shared situations. We've got people who are now sharing single-family homes, both single individuals and even small families with children, sharing space. You can actually get more for your money.
Because they do that in other states.
Yeah, we're moving toward the solutions, and we're going to take this short break. We're going to come back. The problem of evictions is mounting. The problem of homelessness looks like it's going to increase, and the solutions for that, something that we're going to discuss right after this break.
KCAA.
There is a lot of information out there about COVID-19 in kids, so it's important to share the facts, not the virus. While COVID-19 vaccines are new, the science behind them is based on decades of research. Clinical studies have confirmed they are safe and effective at protecting kids and the whole family. Share the facts, not the virus. Talk to your child's doctor or visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccine near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Publish your legal notice in West Side Story newspaper. For the best service and the best rates, call 909-384-8131. Publishing legal notices in the city and county of San Bernardino since 1990. West Side Story provides friendly expert service. Call 909-384-8131 to benefit from budget-friendly rates. Whether a fictitious business name, a name change, a divorce summons, or any other legal or public notice, call West Side Story newspaper 909-384-8131. 909-384-8131. That's 909-384-8131.
This is my piece. Share the facts, not the virus. Vaccines don't control us. That's just game to divide us. They help build our immunity for safer communities. Natural remedies and herbs, unproven scientific verbs for fighting COVID-19. Now hear me scream. Vaccines and boosters, effective, science-directed for saying protected. Facts.
Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
This is KCAA.
JC, you cool?
Yeah, it's your birthday. Swear to God, I'ma bet it up right now, on your birthday. Just tell me how you want it right here, right now. You ready? I'ma hit that shit down. Baby, I'ma hit it down. Just tell me how you want it. Look, it's your birthday and it's time for me to be celebrating whatever you want, baby. I'll do it. I'm X-rated, cause I got patience. One touch, call me rated. Thunder and lightning in between your legs when you're shaking. Yeah.
Young Music, that is young. The name of that piece is
Birthday Girl.
Birthday Girl by Young Music, our artist for the week. Here celebrating and acknowledged by What It Do with Lou, Lou Dowdy's guest for the day. We are really appreciating your music. And that music is available on
everywhere, on all social media platforms, all digital platforms, Snapchat, all that.
If I set up a digital platform now, I would call it Everywhere.
Right, and he's everywhere. This man is everywhere.
You got that, Eric? That's going to be our deal. Everywhere.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. We appreciate that. We appreciate you being in here today. We are speaking with Don Smith, our housing and homelessness advocate, the man with the heart, the compassion, and the passion to look into the problem of homelessness. Don, we're talking about evictions today. I'm looking at a situation where there is a large apartment complex under foreclosure, and the auction date has been set, and the foreclosure operation is still, they're trying to collect rent. What does a tenant do in a circumstance like that? He's obligated to pay, but he knows that the property is probably going to change hands within days. What do you do?
That's a tough one. One, I'd love to get information on that property because the state has a program right now where they're helping nonprofits get a hold of foreclosed properties to be able to preserve them or keep them in the inventory of affordability. So I definitely want to find out that address.
I'll be talking to you right after the show.
I need that information, Mr. Ron.
Yes, because everybody would like to be able to do that, but this particular property, you're absolutely, yeah. We'll talk about that for sure. I don't want to put their business in the street on the phone, and plus,
right. But as far as what tenants in that situation should do, certainly if they know that the property is being sold and probably not being maintained, it really should start looking at what their other options are. It's most likely that when the property changes hands, that the people there will be eligible for some type of relocation assistance. So
the issue really is that people don't want to get relocated. And someone has mentioned the idea of a tenant group. Hey, what are you looking at as we look at these solutions for evictions? And that's the real issue here. What are some of the things that people can do if you've got a tenant group that is kind of united? Maybe they've been paying their money. Maybe they want to stay in the building. Is there support for tenant groups buying their the rental that they're in? What are some of the things that are available out there?
There is.
Talked about sharing space.
There are groups out there that are taking approaches, including things like establishing community land trusts or other kinds of equity sharing in these types of properties. And so, again, in the example that you described, if the property is in a position and there's an organization that might be able, there might not be timing on this one, but again, the state's got money available to help nonprofits secure foreclosed properties to keep them affordable, and that can include establishing a tenant group to do equity sharing or creating a community land trust that establishes a baseline within that nonprofit so that they can keep the rents affordable. There are lots of options for doing that.
Does a program like that potentially put a nonprofit in the position to compete with investor-based buyers? Because, as we look at our homes, where people are losing their homes, right now investors are able to come in, offer them money above what they're asking for, secure the home, and immediately turn it around into a high-priced rental or totally gentrify a community. If a nonprofit had the ability to have the compassion that should go along with that type of program that captures the housing, because otherwise we're capturing the housing for people who aggressively want to change the pricing as opposed to making it available and affordable for people.
Yeah, what you're describing has become a real problem. These investors are coming in with cash and taking over single-family homes and multifamily properties, and just taking them out of the affordability inventory. And so, again, some of the state programs do create the opportunity to come in and take over these properties. How to fend off the competition of investors with more money has to be built into that equation. Yeah. And so local communities can get involved, cities, et cetera, can get involved in those efforts in trying to lay claim to these properties before the investors come in. But they have to be aware of that. They have to be committed to doing that, and have to have the time to make it happen. Again, in this particular example you cited, it may be too late, but we all have to be mindful and get our elected leaders, local elected leaders, involved in these processes to ensure that these properties that are being foreclosed and other areas in the community that we need to preserve for affordability, our local elected officials have to be in the mix make sure that we're getting the opportunity to get those properties and keep them in the affordability realm.
Boy, go ahead, Ms. Lou, question. Okay. No, and you're absolutely right. But, here in America, we promise that capitalism will work. We promise there's an opportunity for people with money to make more money. Yeah. Somehow we've got to lay in a level of obligation to deal with those people who don't have the money. Now, it's easy for me, old poor Wallace, who don't have a lot of money, to say what I'd like for people who got a lot of money to do.
Right.
And it presupposes that if I were super rich, I'd be out here, the benevolent Wallace, giving money away and doing this, that, and the other. I don't know. I would like to think that I'm that type of person that is going to, it's easy for me to share a donut, but to share the bakery is the issue. We're not.
Right.
Okay, so Wallace will share that bag of donuts. Well,
but not that, but yeah.
But the bakery, he ain't giving you the keys to the bakery.
Keys to the kingdom, huh?
Yeah, well, the bakery is a kingdom to a guy who thinks small as opposed to thinking about bakeries. So there's expansion potential for everybody with some vision, but we have to be able to start off, and we have to have a plan that's going to include the people who don't have. Because if you want to sit at the end of the table and peacefully eat up your gourmet meal, then the other 15 people around the table have to have something.
They got to eat too.
They got to eat, because if you think you're going to eat in front of me,
right.
I mean, no, if I'm emaciated and can't defend the right to eat, and that's the level that we have gotten to when we get to 1%, 2%, 3% of the people having access to 85-90% of all of the funds.
You're right, and
we're emaciated, and they're so strong that they can hold us. We have to come together. We have to figure this thing out. The idea of people living together, it's not a new idea.
No, it's not.
No, they did that, back in time, and
they're still doing it today.
Right.
Over 40% of adults live in shared situations right now.
Right.
And for seniors, that percentage is way higher.
Right.
So, I mean, we grow up in shared situations most of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
None of us rarely get a chance to actually live on our own. So shared housing is a component that we have to promote more. But, you were talking about the benevolence. As we've started to pursue shared housing, et cetera, we're seeing some of these property owners try to figure out, well, that means I should be able to get more money out of these properties, and we have to guard against that.
Well,
charge what you're going to charge, but let us have a couple people sharing that.
Well,
don't raise the rent because we got more people connected to the house.
But capitalism,
that's that greed.
Capitalism has a future because of the ADUs, additional housing units. They are
price gouging. I mean, even in
accessory dwelling units.
Yeah, we can build a house in the backyard. That's a zoning change that works to the small homeowner, that allows us to build a house in your backyard. And we can say, well, that's great, but I'm not a builder. I don't have time I don't know what to do. That's a business too. There's people who will come and
when there's money to do that, if people are willing to, the state's got money to help people with that. If people are willing to make those units available to people at low and moderate incomes, so there is some incentive to do it that way. But the bad thing is some people are taking advantage of doing these ADUs and still charging more than they need to.
We're seeing that. We can do that and walk in the grocery store and do that and see that taking place. Don, can we look forward to maybe doing a workshop or a program where we're going to talk specifically about that ADU, so that we push that information, we can help housing, and we can probably help some people make a little money?
Absolutely.
Yes, we really should.
I want to thank you. Appreciate that you're on the job that you're on. I know you're not making the kind of money that you should be making, but then again, people with a soft heart, they don't need that. You can always stop by my house and eat, and I'll stop by yours, and we'll work it out. This is Empire Talks Back. We are sitting in the presence of heroes and sheroes, folks that are indeed dedicated to make the world a better place, operating on it every day, not taking time off to be evil and mean. I do appreciate that. See you guys next week under True Circumstances.
Thank you, Young Music.
Thank you, Miss Melanie.
Always.
This is Empire Talks Back.
Thank
See you next
Wallace.
week. The good Lord's willing and the creek don't rise. See ya.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Challenges the status quo, questions everything, and empowers you to return to your core beliefs to make your life better. If you're ready to hear the truth and catch your roadmap to the lifestyle you really want, the next hour will change your life. And now, your host, self-made millionaire, national award-winning investor of the year,